What is the one obsession that almost all of the world's greatest entrepreneurs, athletes, and high achievers have in common? It's not just their discipline, it's their obsession with how their mind works. They obsess over their belief system, their internal dialogue, and their ability to control their emotions and focus. All of this is called metacognition. Metacognition is the art of thinking about how you think. At its simplest level, metacognition refers to the higher order processes involving the awareness and control of your own cognitive states. It is the ability to recognize, understand, and direct your own thoughts, feelings, and internal states, rather than being driven by them on autopilot. It is a two-part process. The first part is metacognitive knowledge. This is your internal map. It's what you know about how your mind works. It's recognizing your peak energy hours, knowing exactly how you learn the best, identifying the gaps in your knowledge, and choosing the right strategy before you even start a task. For example, you have a massive project due tomorrow, and your metacognitive knowledge kicks in and says, I know that I get distracted by my phone, and I know that I do my best deep thinking in the morning, not at night. So you put the phone in another room and tackle the hardest part of this project at 9 a.m. The second part of this process is metacognitive regulation. This is the action. It monitors your progress while you're doing something and adjusts your strategy if things aren't working well. Let's continue with our example. You are 30 minutes into that project and suddenly you realize that you are staring at the screen and not making any progress. Your metacognitive regulation fires off and you realize that you're stuck. The current strategy, just writing this report, isn't working. Instead of panicking or quitting, you catch the thought, pivot, and decide to switch to a mind mapping approach or do some more research to break the mental block. Basically, as you can see, the metacognitive process involves applying our existing knowledge, which is the metacognitive knowledge, to a task and actively evaluating our performance and changing the strategy along the way, which is the metacognitive regulation. Now, in these examples, we sound like perfectly rational creatures. But let's be honest, we all know we aren't. So, if metacognition is such a superpower, why don't we use it all the time? The answer is simple. It's energy. Our brains are biologically wired to conserve energy, not to think deeply. To conserve energy, the brain uses heuristics, mental shortcuts designed to deliver quick results for the least amount of effort. For our ancestors, these were life-saving strategies for finding food or avoiding danger. But in our modern era, these ancient shortcuts have backfired. Our brain still craves high-calorie energy, so it draws us to addictive sugar. It still seeks immediate reward, so it drives us towards the cheap, endless dopamine hits of our phones. These heuristics are the destroyers of metacognition. Every time you give in to the urge to scroll, or every time you dive into work without strategy, you aren't just wasting time. You are training your brain to prefer these shortcuts over your conscious thought. You're literally building a neural habit of letting your autopilot take the wheel. In those moments, you stop being the driver of your own life and become a passenger, helplessly driven by instincts. Now, let's learn how to build and improve your metacognition. For this, I think it's helpful to return to its two core components, metacognitive knowledge and metacognitive regulation. Let's start with metacognitive knowledge. This involves understanding your own cognitive processes. You can enhance this by gathering data on how you function the best, such as identifying your peak productive hours, the impact of nutrition, supplements on your focus, and your unique learning preferences. This is highly personalized knowledge gained through observation and experience. Beyond self-knowledge, you must also build a toolkit of different strategies. I will make future videos diving deep into a lot of different strategies, but for now, some excellent examples are Feynman technique explaining concepts to others, or using a memory palace where you associate the information you want to remember with specific physical locations within a familiar space, allowing you to recall the items later by simply taking a mental walk through that route. It's really important to understand that you may be a master of action or metacognitive regulation, but without the right strategies and a clear understanding of your own cognitive profile, your efforts will be inefficient. Now let's move to the second part, which is metacognitive regulation. While you can learn knowledge, you must train regulation. This is the ability to monitor and control your cognitive processes in real time. Meditation is one of the most effective exercises for this, almost any type of meditation. Because if you think about it, meditation makes us understand our thoughts and emotions and trains us to choose how we want to react to them. Now I chose 3 simple exercises that will help you improve your metacognition. The first one is the metro visualization. This is a meditation where you imagine yourself sitting in a subway station, watching thoughts and emotions pass by like trains. This practice helps you develop emotional detachment, allowing you to observe your internal states rather than impulsively reacting to them. Another exercise is keeping a thought audit journal. This involves regularly analyzing your thought patterns, where you take a single thought, break it down, and examine its origins and validity. This shifts your habit from automatic reaction to conscious analysis. Another exercise is meta-interrogations. Before you start a task, especially one that is high stakes or emotionally charged, pause to ask yourself these 4 questions. What is my goal right now? What will be the end result of this task? What specific strategy am I going to use to achieve it? And what is the most likely distraction and how will I handle it when it occurs? Ultimately, metacognition is not a destination you reach. It is a muscle you exercise. Every time you pause to observe a craving, every time you audit your own focus, and every time you swap a mindless habit for a conscious strategy, you are reclaiming your brain. You are no longer a passenger steered by the impulses of your brain, you are the pilot. We didn't go in depth a lot in this video, we merely just scratched the surface of this fascinating and, in my opinion, life-changing practice. But I hope that just by knowing this about your mind, it will help you, and by committing to this practice, you stop reacting to your environment and start designing it. You stop hoping for peak performance and start engineering it. The world will continue to offer you endless distractions and shortcuts, but now you have a choice. You can let the autopilot take the wheel, or you can take control, take command of your cognitive state, and finally begin to direct your mind with intention. The most successful people aren't those who think the most. They are the ones who think about how they think. Start today, observe your cognitive processes, refine your strategy, and choose to be the architect of your own mind.